Hello, I'm making this video for the purpose of bringing out some historical facts about this great country, nation that we all live in called America. There's a big heated debate and it's dividing a lot of people and they're misinformed to what happened, what kind of immigration policy, and why we had this policy. A lot of people are underneath this misconception that we should have no borders and we should be totally free and anybody can come to this country undocumented and work and get a piece of the American pie. And they're underneath the assumption that it should be unlimited mass and that all these people are bringing, you know, a lot of, I guess you could say assets with them, that they're bringing, a lot into the country. Well, number one, you'll hear such arguments like, well, you have no right to make such a statement because, after all, we are a nation of immigrants. We're a country of immigrants. Well, I beg to differ. Uh, we're not a country or a nation of immigrants. We are just like any other nation in the world. We're a nation of descendants of immigrants. Okay? Any other nation is the same too. Throughout time and history, mankind has always migrated from point A to point B, but nations always have to put a cap to be able to have stability and be able to have a certain lifestyle for its people to sustain, or else it will just destroy from within, which is happening here in this country. So without further ado, maybe we should turn to our history books and point out to people that think like this why today's American is not willing to accept this new kind of immigrant any longer. Back in 1900, when there was a rush from all areas of Europe to come to the United States, people had to get off a ship and stand in a long line in New York and be well documented. Okay? Some would even get down on their hands and knees and kiss the very ground. They made a pledge to uphold the laws and support their new country in good and bad times. They made learning English, a primary rule in their new American households, and some even changed their names to blend in with their new home. They had to wave goodbye to their birthplace they left behind to give their children a new life and did everything in their power to help their children assimilate into our culture. Nothing was handed to them, no food stamps, no welfare, no labor laws to protect them. All they had were the skills and craftsmanship they had brought with them to trade for a future of prosperity. Most of their children anyway, came of age when World War II broke out. My father fought alongside men whose parents had come straight over from Germany, Italy, France, and Japan. None of these first generation Americans even gave any thought about what country their parents had come from. They were Americans fighting against Hitler, Mussolini, and the Emperor of Japan. They were defending the United States of America as one people. When we liberated France, no one in those villages were looking for the French American, the German American, or the Irish American. The people of France saw only Americans, and we were carried one flag that represented one country. No one of those immigrants' sons would have thought about picking up another country's flag and waving it to represent who they were. It would have been a disgrace to their parents who had sacrificed so much to be there. These immigrants truly knew what it meant to be an American. They stirred the melting pot into one red, white, and blue Bowl. Now, that was the immigrants of the past. Okay? Now, let's look at the modern immigration, immigrants today, because we've heard this before from our leaders that immigrants of today are the same as immigrants of the past. Okay? Uh, so, let's just look. This is what we have today. That's the past, immigrants coming over. And here is today's immigrants. And here we are with a new kind who wants the same rights and privileges, only they want to achieve it by playing with a different set of rules, one that includes the entitlement card and guarantee of being faithful to their mother country. I'm sorry, that's not what being American is all about. I believe that the immigrants who landed on Ellis Island in the early 1900s deserve better than that for all the toil, hard working, and sacrificing in raising future generations to create a land that has become a beacon for those legally searching for a better life. I think they would be appalled that they are being used as examples by those waving a foreign country flags. Okay? Now, this is something to think about, and this is serious, and this is what we're heading into, and this is what we're dealing with. So you be the judge for yourself, because this is where we're headed to. God save America.